What is up, my buttery biscuits? In today's video, we're going to be talking about Tarte because they are facing a lot of backlash over their brand trip, which I do want to say I have heard nothing but drama about brand trips. I always like to watch the Full Coverage podcast, as you guys know, and I see them all the time always talking about brand trips. I feel like they keep it really PG on that podcast, though, only because they don't want to like burn their bridges with brands. They obviously still want to get those brand trips and those brand deals. Do you know what I mean? But I feel like there's a lot of tea that they're not spilling, but they kind of do hint at it. Do you know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, too, a lot of other creators will actually just put it out there on blast. Like when they had Makeup by Shayla on Full Coverage, she kind of just let it all out there. And I honestly grew some respect for her for that. I was like, girl, good for you to get out there and actually say it, because I really like when people keep it real. Because at the end of the day, there is 5 million brands out there. If you don't work with Tarte, for example, say they want to cut you off, there is so many other brands that are willing to work with you. Do you know what I'm saying? So I like when a creator can actually keep it real about what goes on about these things, because I do find it to be really interesting. But I do want to say, like, a lot of people don't understand the whole brand trip concept. However, I want to say I totally completely get it, because if you think about it this way, say for example, if you have $500,000 per year that you want to spend in marketing, I think it'll be a little bit better and more beneficial for you to take people onto a trip where they're constantly posting about it, because they have all different types of Tarte stuff, all different types of Tarte activities and Tarte logos, and they have these like Tarte like shape tape mascots dressed up. Do you know what I'm saying? So that all within itself is promotion right there, and you do get to write it off as marketing. Do you know what I'm saying? So I do understand it, but I do feel like it can be very messy. I want to say about this topic, I will be giving you guys all the details within today's video. I'm going to be showing you guys a lot of TikToks because I do feel like it is necessary. A lot of people are divided about this. I was reading the comments on YouTube on Spill Sesh's video, and so many people have this opinion, and then if you go over to TikTok, so many people have a completely different opinion, which means it's like 50-50 right down the middle. So I want you guys to watch these TikToks to gather your own opinions. I'm a little bit in the middle about it. I kind of understand both sides' perspective. I do want to say before jumping into it, though, I do find it to be a little bit weird how a brand can have a brand trip but then have people coming on different days. To me, that is a little bit weird. I don't know if that's a marketing strategy, or maybe there's some other type of technique that I just don't know about as to why it would be that way. Me personally, if I was a brand owner and I was throwing a brand trip, I would think that I want everybody to be here on the same day, so that way everything is more organized and easier to keep count of. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, why would you have an influencer, one come in on Friday and one come in on Sunday and one come in on Tuesday? Like, that's just weird to me. I don't really know how these types of things work, though. Obviously, I've never been invited to a brand trip, but maybe there is some type of technique. But I do want to say from the jump, it does seem a little bit weird that there would be a different schedule. Like, that doesn't really make sense to me. But we are going to be watching several TikToks within today's video, because the actual CEO of Tarte, she did an apology video at first that wasn't well received, because she was doing like a get ready with me, and it just kind of seemed, I don't know, a little disingenuous, and it kind of just seemed like she was, I don't know, it kind of seemed like it was scripted, to be quite honest with you guys. Like when she was doing the video, I was like, okay, it seems like she was reading something. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe I don't know her, to be quite honest with you. I didn't even know she was the CEO until this all popped off. So I don't know her personality. Maybe that's just how she is. But she actually just last night uploaded another TikTok addressing the whole thing and doing a more in-depth apology about it. So we're going to be playing all TikToks within today's video, so that way you guys can gather your opinion about this. Let me shut up. Let me stop rambling, because there is a lot. I feel like this is going to be a little bit of a lengthy one. Make sure you guys click the link down below. Head over to my second channel. That's my travel channel with my brother. We upload new videos there every single Sunday. And yeah, make sure you guys give this video a big thumbs up, and let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so let's go ahead and first start this off. We're going to be talking about the influencer. Her name is Bria Jones. I hope that's how you pronounce it. Maybe it's Bria or Bria. I'm not really too sure. She was invited to a Tarte trip where they were going to be going to the Formula One races. Now, here's the thing where everything got a little bit tricky, is because she was invited out, I want to say on certain days, right? That she wasn't going to be there on Sunday, but her friends that were going on the trip were going to be there on Sunday. And I don't even know how the Formula One races even work, to be quite honest with you. I don't know anything about the Formula One races. It's just not my realm at all. But apparently they have kind of like mock races or kind of like trial races on Friday and Saturday, and the main event is on Sunday. So she noticed that some of her friends that were going on the trip were going to be there for Sunday's event, and she was going to be sent home, that she wasn't going to be there for that. So she was kind of feeling a little bit left out. Now, this is where everybody does get a little bit of a divided opinion about this, is because some people are saying, girl, you should really be happy that you're, you know, in being invited at all. And then she's like, well, I just feel like I'm getting mistreated. Now, this is where I say I can totally see both hands of it, because I'm going to be quite honest with you guys. If I was invited out to a all paid for trip and like got all these cool experiences with it, I'm going to take it for what it is. And even if I don't get to stay those X amount of days, like I'm still going to be grateful for it. But then also I'm going to keep it real with you guys. If my friends were there for that main event and then I had to be sent home that day that I was going to be missing that event, I would feel a little left out. I would feel like I'm not included. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm like, I don't really understand understand where Tarte's planning was with this. Like, why would they have some people there for that main race and some people not? I did want to bring this to your guys' attention before I play the TikToks. Maybe it comes down to a financial thing. Maybe they invited the more popular Instagrammers and TikTokers and YouTubers and all that stuff for the main event, because maybe those tickets did cost a little bit more, and maybe they are investing a little bit more into the creators that have a little bit more of a following. That's just one of my theories that I was thinking of, because I was wondering this before we even get into all these details. Do you guys feel on a brand trip that some people should be treated differently based upon their following? The reason why I asked this is because I seen this comment being brought over and over and over again. People with different amounts of following should be all treated the same, but then also at the same time too, say for example, somebody who has 100,000 followers and somebody who has 10 million followers, the person who has 100,000 followers can't charge half as much as the person with 10 million followers. So say for example, if they are getting paid, whether it be in a suite or they're getting these extra activities or getting these extra amenities, maybe those are within their contract that they're getting it, because that's technically meaning that they're getting paid more. Do you know what I mean? But here's my thing about it. I feel like if I was a brand owner, that way I could keep it fair throughout everybody, because I know that feeling of being left out. Like, y'all, I was on Mac Impact Team before, and they used to send me out to events to like Vegas and stuff like that, and I would notice that people who are higher up, obviously they got their own room, some even got their own suites, as to where we had to bunk with people, and I'm just like, damn, like I hate sharing a room with people, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I snore, I'm really not trying to share a room with somebody, and it would suck that every time I would go, some people would get their own room, some people would get their own suite, and then some people would have to bunk up with other people. Do you know what I'm saying? But obviously that went based upon seniority as well as level ranks within Mac, you know what I mean? So that's why I was bringing this to your guys' attention, is to say maybe they, I don't know, maybe they figure, okay, you know what, we're gonna give Nikki Tutorials a better, she wasn't even there, I'm just using her as an excuse, I mean as an example, sorry, maybe we're gonna give Nikki Tutorials a little bit more of a better room because this is written within her contract that she would be getting paid more. But if I was a CEO, if I was the owner, the way that I would personally do it is, because I have heard before that they have gotten cash compensation. So say for example, I would keep everybody within the same room, I would keep everybody within the same events, but say for example, if somebody like Nikki Tutorials was going, then I'm gonna cut her a check for $25,000. I don't know what the, you know, obviously amount is, and then say for example, somebody who had less of a following, then they're gonna get a check for $5,000 or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Something like that, so that way everybody can be treated as equal, because I do feel like when you're on a group trip, it is kind of messed up that some people are going to be left out from this or that. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, they're going to feel some type of way. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and play this TikTok right here of Bria Jones so that way you guys can hear what she had to say. This is a, like, repost of it because I could not find the actual TikTok because she did delete it. So go ahead and check it out.
Going on a Tarte trip, and I was going to be leaving tomorrow to go to Formula One in Miami, and I decided that I'm not going to go. I've just been really upset today because even before I'm getting to this trip, I'm realizing that I'm not going to be treated like everyone else there. I would love to go on a Tarte trip, and trust me, I'm so grateful, but I have more integrity than to get all the way to Miami and realize that I'm being treated like a second-tier person, or like I'm being ranked. It just feels like a sorority situation, and I'm not doing that shit. I don't care if this means that I no longer have a relationship with the Tarte team, but I don't agree with how they're doing this. So the actual race is on Sunday the 7th. I was invited to come out from the 4th to the 6th. But initially in the email, it said something about being front row May 7th at the race. So once I realized my flights didn't align with the actual race, I asked them about it, and they said, oh, don't worry, you'll still get to see like the practice races and stuff. But I have some friends that are going on the trip, and I asked them when they were leaving, and they all said they were leaving Monday, and I was the only one leaving Saturday. So I just feel a little stupid. And I understand that my numbers are not like some of these other creators, but I just wish that there was more transparency up front. And I also, I have a screenshot of what was said at the beginning of our email thread. So I guess I misunderstood. But either way, I know that Cynthia had a similar experience, and I just don't like that this is happening to people who want to be a part of these Tarte trips. And personally, I don't get why, if they're going to do these trips, they don't just treat everyone the same. I have worked too hard to get to where I am today, and I will be damned as a Black creator if I accept anything other than equal treatment on these trips. And yes, Tarte can do whatever the fuck they want to do. Yes, they can. but I don't have to accept.
So yeah, as you guys can see from right there, she does feel left out. I understand what she's saying, and then I do also understand how people are saying, like, girl, like, you're getting invited to this trip, like, be happy that you're going, but then also put yourself in those shoes of like, well, all your friends are going to this event and you want to see that event too. And maybe she's really interested in the Formula One races. Maybe that's like a dream of hers to go to that. Do you know what I'm saying? So I do feel like maybe this is something that she really, really wanted, and then she's like, wait, why am I being sent home before the main event? And then on top of that too, she did say within her email that she would be there for the actual Formula One races. So if you're just there for the like warm-ups, basically you're not there for the main day, so that is kind of misleading. That's what I'm saying. I go 50-50 about it, but then I do feel like at the end of the day, if my email said like, hey, you're gonna get to meet Lady Gaga, and it's like, no, I get to meet a Lady Gaga impersonator, I'd be kind of mad, to be quite honest with you guys. I'm like, no, my email says that I'm going to meet Lady Gaga, why are you having an impersonator come? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's really misleading in my opinion. Now, I want to go ahead and play the two TikToks. I'll go ahead and play them back to back for you guys. I do want to show you the first video of the CEO where she's doing her little get ready with me, and she kind of, I'm assuming this was like her apology or addressing the situation. I didn't really hear an apology within this video, but you guys can go ahead and listen to it and check out both of the TikToks, because one, she did this video, but then y'all, if you guys go to the, she literally still left it up. I do want to say kudos to her for not deleting it. If you go to the comments, like, everybody is roasting her. Like, everybody is roasting her. So if you guys are interested, you guys can head over to her TikTok, but go ahead and check out both of the TikToks right here.
I woke up pretty sad this morning, and I wanted to talk to you guys about a couple things. We've had our share of mistakes, and I definitely want to take responsibility for them. But sometimes miscommunications happen. You know, I see my team working so hard, and I just want to clear the air on a couple things. We have been hosting trips with creators for well over a decade, and the biggest thing to me, like the most important takeaway, is that they have fun. It's not about the actual post. Anyone that's been on a trip with me I can definitely attest to that for sure. It's important. I want people to be happy. I want them to have a good time. It's just like in my nature. In my experience growing up in a house of 7 with a lot of siblings, I just love having a lot of people around. So, you know, when I go on vacations, I'm just very much like a more the merrier type of person. So when you're going on a trip in a house, not every room can be the same. And for me, I valued having, you know, more people there as opposed to just having just a few people, a handful of people, and having them just be in the big rooms and having the small rooms be empty. And this weekend, we're going to F1, and I wasn't thinking about what's going on at the track. I was just thinking, how can we get the most people to just have this fabulous experience? So we made a plan for everyone to have one day at the racetrack, one really nice dinner, and one really fun night at the club. So everybody was coming for the same amount of time, and I was really excited to hang out with so many, you know, really cool creators. And every day had a mix of big creators and up and coming creators, and nothing was decided based on the follower count. I mean, I wish I had the amount of followers that these creators had. And I thought we were gonna hang out at the VIP cabanas and really just enjoy that weekend. But it turns out that people really wanted to go to, you know, that Sunday race. It was important to them. And I realized that the things that were important to me are maybe not important to everybody else. So the team and I quickly adjusted. We got a ton of extra tickets, and so everybody can go to whichever day that they want. I'm all about lifting up others and making people feel good, so I couldn't imagine making someone feel sad or, you know, just like hurting someone's feelings. Even though I was feeling a little bummed, a lot of you sent me really nice messages. You guys are the freaking best. It's gonna be a great weekend, no hard feelings to anyone, and yeah, I love you guys. I wanted to address a mistake that I made recently. I take full responsibility for a TikTok video that I posted responding to claims by a respected and valued Tarte creator. It was about a recent Tarte event that was meant to be informative and conversational from me, but it definitely missed the mark. My choosing a lighthearted approach to a topic that deserved a serious response was definitely a wrong approach. I should have used this as an opportunity to address the unequal treatment of Black creators within beauty creator programs. My post came across as me not taking the issue seriously, and I'm really sorry for that. As the founder and CEO of Tarte, I acknowledge that we have fallen short in matters of diversity, inclusion, and equity in the past. I want to ensure everyone that I have heard you. And starting now, we will be taking the following steps. We're reviewing our creator program and just making sure that it's inclusive and equitable. And we'll be updating it regularly to make sure we reflect changes that happen within the beauty influencer market. We'll take immediate action whenever we find inequalities or errors within our program. We're focused on fostering a culture of trust and transparency. Our creators are informed and empowered and can make the best decisions for their content and for their followers. We're also going to be more transparent about how we work with our creators, including how we choose them. I think that's not only going to just help the creators, but trust amongst like the industry as a whole. As the CEO, it's my responsibility to make sure everyone's voices are heard and respected, and I failed to do that in this instance, and I'm so sorry.
So yeah, as you guys can see from right there, I do think the second TikTok was a little bit better, and I do feel like she is acknowledging her errors. And let's keep it real, we've talked about it time and time again on our channel. When it comes down to inclusivity with Tarte, I do feel like their shade range has really lacked inclusivity for a long time. I feel like we've all been talking about that for quite some years now. So I feel like right there, at least she's acknowledging it. So now we can, like, you know, look to see if she does progress in that department. Do you know what I'm saying? I still don't know within this situation, like, what went down between Tarte and Bria, but they did resolve it. She did, I was gonna play it for you guys, but then I was like, oh my gosh, there's a lot of TikToks within this video. She did do another TikTok where she said that they talked about everything and it was a miscommunication and they basically came to terms with something, but she didn't really say exactly what. So this is where I tell you guys, it is fully your opinion. What do you guys feel about it? Do you guys feel like she is being a little bit too much? She should just be grateful that she was invited, period? Or do you think that, like, it's pretty messed up that she wasn't invited to the main event? That's where I tell you guys, I'm like, there's somebody like me who I'm just grateful for anything, y'all, that I feel like I would be like, oh my gosh, I would be happy to go. But then once again, like I said earlier, I would feel like inside, if my friends were there on Sunday and that's like the most poppin' day, I'm gonna want to be there too. That's why I'm saying I just kind of don't understand like what their whole method was of, oh, some people are gonna come out this day and then some people are gonna come out this day. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Anyways, the opinion is fully up to you guys. Make sure you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions about everything, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace out, Girl Scout.